Wait still. Hold on. I'm waiting on Facebook.
Give Facebook a couple of seconds and
Go
we are
ahead.
good to go. Hello, I'm Nora Lynch Smith, your New England Region President for 2023. I realize sometimes forget to introduce myself, and I would like to introduce a lot of our leadership team here. So thank you. And more importantly, for today, that is, Kim Cameron is here to talk about Mystic, Connecticut and the 2 classes that we are going to have. And it looks like we have a retro PowerPoint presentation that Kim said she got together. And I would just want to thank everybody for being here. Greg Hanner, if you just want to say a couple of words because you took the lead on this Mystic and working with Eastern Connecticut Association Realtors, go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm excited for all of the New England region to have Kim coming to, give us a pre-conference 2 4-hour sessions of some of her best content for 2023. And it's going to be great because we're going to be offering the class to our local association members, and then the folks that are attending in person for RRC are going to be given the opportunity to attend the networking event afterwards.
And what's that networking event?
The networking event, we are going to secure the destination or venue is going to be walking distance right from the Mystic Aquarium. The RRC conference on Monday the 19th is at the Mystic Hilton, and we're either going to, our fallback is to be in that venue, but we're trying to go right across the street to Mystic Village, and we'll nail that down in the next couple weeks.
Okay, great. And that's Monday the 18th. I just want to get that corrected.
Yeah, 9/18, Monday
Okay,
the
great.
18th. Yep.
And we will we were speaking earlier, Christine, our education chair, said we will have a discount code on that Mystic Hilton, I believe, in the next couple of days.
I'm waiting for that from Susie,
Great.
the CEO for Eastern Connecticut Association of Realtors.
So that will all be updated and we'll have a nice, a little bit more piece. You can still register for the class via Zoom and live. That's all set when you go onto your calendar. But we'll have more information on, the venue and everything else that'll get posted on that. So that's great. So without much ado, Kim, I'm going to have you take it away. One of our esteemed RRC CRS instructors.
Well,
Nice
good morning, everyone. It's so good to see all of you. For a few of you, it's been, a week. For others, it's been celebration a little longer. Yolanda Lau, great to see your beautiful face. I just wanted to share with you a little bit today. I'm excited to come to Mystic, and you had me at networking, Greg. So we have a day of education with 2 awesome half-day classes paired together. Networking after. I'm not sure there's any more fun I could possibly have on September 18th. So let me share with you my little retro slide deck that I created. Let me find this bad boy. And I will start sharing in just a sec. I had a little snafu with my my phone ringing through my laptop, so I had to close for a sec. All right, we should be officially sharing now, hopefully. You should be able to see my slides. 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, there we go. So I'm going to just share a couple things with you, kind of give you the highlights. I call this Get the Listing, Price It Right. And so much of these 2 classes are about best practices that realtors are doing year after year that just are consistent. So, and this is leading up to our time together in Mystic, which is going to be a great venue and a great opportunity. So let me just share a couple things. First, for those of you that I haven't met, because there are some, I'm a St. Louis girl, so I hail from the middle of the country. I am a full-time realtor like all of you. Instructing is my side gig, and CRS is my most fun to teach. I do love golden retrievers, and I've recently taken up kayaking. So that's a little bit about me, hailing from the gateway to the west with my team, my hubby, my shameless plug for my dog. But let's kick this off because your time is valuable. So let me give you a little preview to the Leads to Listings class. The 3 main pillars is lead generation and conversion. Anybody can generate leads, but conversion is truly where the rubber meets the road. So we're going to focus heavily on how do you, address those items. We're also going to tweak our listing presentation. There is such a great brain trust every time I'm in front of a group of CRSs or those that aspire to achieve the designation. And when we start doing breakouts and power sharing, incredible things happen. Which, let me also preface, this course is hybrid. So we're going to make this a killer experience for those in the classroom and those online. There will be breakout sessions. There will be power sharing. We will have links in the chat room as we go. So if this is something that you're not sure you can make in person, that's okay. We have the tools and the resources to make it incredible from a hybrid standpoint. And then the other aspect of this first 8:30 to 12:30 of the course is just dealing with objections. We all have our scripts and our one-liners, but how do you deal with the objections to make sure you get that appointment? So we're going to focus on those. But the best way to really get those leads through lead generation is going to be answering these 3 questions. And this is the meat and potatoes of the class, is where do most of your leads come from? And when we really start honing in and identifying that, we have a higher level of focus. We're working quality, not quantity. We're spending less time paying for cold leads and more time loving on the people that know, like, and trust us already. And if we just give them a little bit more attention, a few more handwritten notes, a little bit more face-to-face time, we're going to be top of mind and we're going to have more leads converting to listings through those avenues. And what are some of your most successful lead generation strategies? This is going to be personal from realtor to realtor, but I'm going to share a ton of strategies in this course, some from my own business, a lot from other realtors, as well as top agents that contributed to the curriculum for this course. So you're going to leave here, no doubt, with at least 2 to 3 additional lead generation strategies to get listings, because we've been in a deficit and haven't had enough listings for more than a decade. And I can tell you, I've started putting some of these strategies in place over the last year, and we have more listings now than I've had since 2012, to the point that I'm a little overwhelmed because I'm out of practice having this much inventory. So there's some great stuff here for everyone. And then lastly, how do you maximize each opportunity for success? And when I say maximize, how do you make sure that from that very first moment, we never forget to say, so just out of curiosity, how did you get my name? My business is built on referrals and I'd like to know who to thank. How do we maximize planting that seed about referrals every single time? How do we maximize the right scripts for that first phone call? Because the whole point of that first phone call is to get the appointment. So we're going to do some power script sharing, question sharing. How do you make sure that you get off that phone and you have an appointment on your calendar? Because that's the goal of the first call. So I'm going to share a couple things with you, and those who have seen me teach or been on any of these monthly Zoom connections with New England over the last few years, some of this you've seen, but I'm going to just give you a little taste. But one of the ways is just staying in touch. So some of this is going to be aspirational. If you can be in a position to write handwritten notes, and 20 would be the amount that you want to aspire to on a weekly basis. But think of it this way, if you're not writing any notes right now to your past clients and you start writing 5, that's 5 more than you did the week before. Take the information that we see on social media, Instagram, Facebook, all the things going on in their lives, the invitations to high school and college graduations, where kids are going in the fall, all of that information, and write a 3-sentence handwritten note, just congratulating them on such a great experience and things going on in their lives. Call your past clients. It is so easy in this industry to be inundated with working in our business and not on our business. You know, from prospecting to showing property to listing properties, negotiating inspections, repairs, home prep, photographer, staging, all of the aspects of our business that pay the bills, but yet we forget to pick up the phone and call our past clients. So if you can take your database and zoom in to the most important, that top 50 to 100, and call 10 of them a week, what does your business look like? And maybe you only call 5, you don't make it to 10. But dig down deep and be honest with yourself. How many are you currently calling? For those of you that are calling 10, kudos. Those of you that are calling none, call a couple, improve. And then get in front of your people. Those that are converting leads and constantly have opportunities are face-to-face with their past clients all the time. Our goal is to have 3 face-to-face a week, which is not a lot. That's 12 a month. But those are with our top referral sources, those past clients, our vendors, our lenders, our insurance people, those that trust us and are always thinking of us when they hear anything real estate. It could be coffee, it can be a cocktail, something inexpensive. I personally love the dog park because it's easy and I'm going to be there anyway. But find some things that you're passionate about that you enjoy doing a face-to-face. Somebody with small kids, meet them at a playground. It does not have to break the bank, but get in front of your people. And lastly, 2 random acts of kindness. Put something good out in the world. There's so much stress in this business at times. So if you can just do something nice, whether it's thanking a veteran for their service or buy someone a coffee when you see hold a door for someone, compliment a stranger and just make somebody's day, it'll make you feel better, especially if you're prospecting and you have a little bit of rejection that day. Just do something random and kind. So a few face-to-face stuff that we're doing right now that I just saw in the office. One of them is we started doing these lemonade packets, and I love them because they're inexpensive. Squeeze the day, call us for the juicy details on your home value, and bubble wands, which I'm loving. These are a couple pics I literally just took in my office. We keep dog bones that says need a bigger yard, talk to my realtor. We also have dog bandanas for our clients at closing, and squeeze the day. And the back side of this says, making every experience easy peasy lemon squeezy. And we create these in Canva, super, super easy, a little lemonade, a little lemon head, and they are passed out on every first client meeting, every listing appointment. We all keep them in our car. If we're in the area near a past client, we pop by, ring the doorbell, say hello, and just, we want to stay at the very top of their mind. Right before I hopped on this Zoom, a past client sent me a text to talk today. I had popped by there a week and a half ago, and I haven't seen them in 3 years. So it's just that level of connection that keeps your coffer full with opportunities and creates a bulletproof opportunity for listings, because your lead to listing conversion grows when your pipeline is full. So another thing that I'm completely obsessed with is called Sticker Mule. If you have not played with Sticker Mule, it is like crazy obsessive. They send you coupons. The little sticker at the top is just a little 2x3 die cut sticker. I put them on my cell phone. We put them on wine bottles. We close gift bags with them. We put them on folders, and then the little keychain, those are so inexpensive and they are given to our buyers at closing. We put them in the key box if it'll fit with keys on our listing. Check out stickermule.com. It's just a lot of really easy personalization that, again, won't break the bank, but just kind of makes it fun for you. So I'm a huge proponent of Pop-Bys. Peggy Urif is a realtor and CRS out of Sacramento, California. Check her out, popbyideas.com. Great stuff. And I use the word pop-by extremely loosely. It's any sort of swag that we're going to have so that everyone we meet, whether we're at the grocery store, checking out at the hardware store, I am always passing something to someone in line. I'm not as good with the name tag as others, but passing out swag, it is always with me. So I'm always wearing that realtor brand on my shoulder. And when we look at listings, we're going to talk about all the different ways that you can evaluate where the opportunities are coming from absentee owners to looking at people that have been in their house for 10 plus years. Because statistically, according to NAR, it's about 10 years before someone's going to move. So knowing what those stats are for the market, looking at the alternative options. And when I refer to forward calls, for those of you that have ever taken Ninja, forward is family, occupation, recreation, dream. Picking up that phone and always asking, using forward as your acronym, say, hey, how's your family? What's going on with work? I saw that. Any fun vacations this summer? Dream. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? The kids are going to be out of the house. You're going to be out of college. Where do you guys plan to be? Those kinds of questions. So that is really the beginning of where we're going to go. And we're going to dive pretty deep into this, but that gets you kind of through the leads to listings. And then we go into qualifying and converting the calls. This is where we're going to have some power questions and things that you never want to forget when you are trying to get that appointment. Whether it's a list on paper that you have on your phone, Google Forms, all different ways that we can set you up to make sure you're getting the information you need before the call and the information you need on the call to get the appointment and be prepared before you go there. So your goal on that phone call is not to discuss price and not to discuss commission. You just want an appointment. And we'll go through all different tactics to not get into the commissionectomy conversation on a call without dodging a question, but just being able to say, you know, that's a great question. And we'll cover that when we get together. Is there anything else that I need to make sure I prepare for when we spend time in your home? Those kinds of things. So we'll go through a lot of that kind of stuff. Then we get into pricing as paramount. This is probably, to be honest with you, the part that I love the most because it's the thrill of the kill. It's pricing correctly. And for those of you that have had the fortune of being with Jackie Leavenworth, who we all love, and Jackie made a lot of us very successful, we talk about positioning more than pricing. But how do you make sure that you're preparing that market analysis correctly, adjusting and presenting that value of the market appropriately? So when we talk about pricing for success, there's truly 5 things that we're going to go through. 1, the market doesn't sell the property. It just exposes it. So marketing is not going to sell an overpriced home. It's just going to make sure that the most amount of opportunities are exposed to your listing. And your job is to drive as many qualified buyers with their realtor through that front door to give it the most amount of exposure possibly. So we'll talk about how you can get past those sellers that want you to market. They want you to go into a print magazine and all these kinds of things that may not be the best approach and use of your time and resources. And overpriced properties just don't sell. We know that. So how can we explain that to a seller in a constructive manner so that they understand that seller market, buyer market, it doesn't matter. Good market, bad market, overpriced homes don't sell, and the importance of being properly positioned right out of the gate. And properties compete, hold on 2 seconds. Properties compete based on price. They're going to compete on price. So if your home is overpriced, as we know, because you're all brilliant on this call, you're just going to help the home sell down the street. So how do we convey that to the client? That properties compete based on price. So we need to make sure they understand that. And an educated seller makes better decisions. The better you can be at guiding the client and making them more informed, better educated than their competition, than their neighbor, than their friends, the more likely they are to follow your guidance and make a better decision from the very beginning. There's a lot of over-informed, undereducated consumers because there's a lot of information out there. So it's our job to make sure they have every piece of information possible. And lastly, getting to the crux of the motivation. Pricing is all about motivation. Let's get to the pain. Let's get to the pleasure. Why are they selling? What is the motivation? Do they need money out of their house to pay for college? Are they ready to financially downsize? Do they have no mortgage and they want to put some money into a retirement account? What is the motivation? When you can get to that motivation, you've got them. And it's a game changer on the conversations that you're having. So it's going to be a big aspect of what we're discussing. But if you take nothing more out of this Zoom, seller sets the price, the market sets the value. Sellers set the price, the market sets the value. We don't set the price. We guide the client to properly position their home in the market. And in my experience, if they aren't buying what I'm selling and they're not listening, I'm not leaving that kitchen table until I get them to where they need to be and explain that the market sets the value. So while we may be signing a listing agreement today, they may not be 6 weeks out from going on the market, and that market and value may change for better or worse in that time. But the seller sets the price. They need to own the price that they set. So our job as realtors is fourfold. 1, we got to be the expert. You have to be the expert when you're in that room, and you have to convey it. So we're going to give you some tools and confidence, whether you're new or renewing your listing business, to just truly come off as the expert. And when you're confident and you can show that in a passionate, positive manner, the consumer, the seller is going to feel it. And we have to be trusted. If they don't trust us, they're not going to buy into the changes that need to be done. So we have to build trust, and which can also be thought of as building rapport. Some of the best appointments I've ever been on, we don't talk about real estate at all. I'm asking questions, listening, learning about them, asking about their story, and building trust and rapport. We have to be the trusted expert that's going to help them. And we have to present data in a way that is tangible and relatable and something that they can consume in a manner that is easy to understand. You know, all of the CMAs and all of this data, at the end of the day, we need to break it down so that they get it. They understand that, yes, rates have gone up since a year ago. However, inventory is down and values are still going up, and you still need to be competitive. We have to present that market data in a tangible way that is easy for them to understand. And we also have to show the evidence. So, and I'm only giving you 4 points here, but we have to show the evidence. We have to show the evidence even when there's lack of evidence out there. How can we show them that, hey, there's nothing on the market, but that doesn't mean you can overprice your home? We have to show them the evidence in a way that it truly tells the story of their home, because we're storytellers. We're storytellers for marketing, but we have to have the data and show the evidence to the client. So probably the most important thing, and this is the last thing on here, is separating the decision of listing versus pricing. You want to make sure that they're deciding to list with you and the pricing decision, but they need to be two separate things, because once they know they want to work with you, you can hash out the details on pricing. That's kind of the easy part. But we want to make sure you separate the two, because if you get bogged down on pricing, then you're not sure you're going to get the listing. So focus on the listing part first, then the pricing discussion at the end. If you get into that place where they're asking up front the pricing decision, you say, that's a great question. We're going to get to that. Any other questions we need to make sure we cover? And we'll go through a bunch of scripts like that. Alexis Folan contributed this class, so get excited. But that's what I have for you today. You can register at CRS.com. We're going to do leads to listing from 8:30 to 12:30. Pricing is Paramount from 1 to 5. And if my memory is correct, and I'm going to ask real quickly, I think there might be a free lunch in this class. So you have lunch, you have networking.
Yep, absolutely. If you're in person, you're going to get a free lunch, and you're also going to get the networking event. That's also going to be complimentary.
Thanks. You're going to feed us?
You're
going to give us beverages?
Absolutely.
It's very exciting.
Yes, very.
And I'll add that right after celebration, we looked at the whole catalog of training that RRC has to offer its members. And when we saw those two classes, they just stood out, because we all know that the market is in transition. And, you know, as a listing agents, maybe have, got to, get rid of some of the dust and polish their skills a little bit to get back in the game, to provide a higher level of service to their clients. So Kim, when we saw those classes, it was an easy decision. And thankfully we asked you really early, because your schedule is full.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Greg. So much the last few years, we get a listing, we sell it, we put a couple more on, we sell it. We haven't had, as I like to say, the hopper full of withheld, all in some modicum of preparation and coming on the market. And it's been a transition for me as a realtor, and this course has helped organize and prepare and just sharpen my tools as well. So I'm excited to share some of that with you.
Well, and we've also got on day 2, or the day 1 of our conference, because technically the RRC component is a a pre-conference education opportunity. We've got Craig Grant, Amy Charoux, we've got Lawrence Yun is going to give us some updates. Kurt is going to be there in person on day 2. So any RRC members that attend the first day, they do have the opportunity to hit the resource conference on day 2 at eCar member pricing.
That sounds terrific, Greg. I mean, that's a Herculean event that we've got, that you have planned with Christine, and I really, really appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to it. And I've never been to Mystic, Connecticut. All these years I've lived up here, so I'm really looking forward to that venue also. Any other questions for Kim as we're rounding out the end of this meeting? Kelly, go ahead.
I'm coming because Kim's gonna be there.
Well, that's the whole point.
So sweet.
Hey, Kurt,
Miss
any
you.
questions?
I'm coming because Kim's gonna be there also. It's gonna be an amazing educational event. I can't wait for it.
I love my
And
Massachusetts.
stay for the
fan club.
conference the next day as well.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I wish I could stay on the 19th. That's a great lineup. That's a really good lineup.
And Yolanda, it's nice to see you here from Connecticut. So we're looking forward to hopefully seeing you there too. That'd be great.
Yes, I will be.
Excellent. So with that, I think we are going to actually end. If no one has any questions, really looking forward to seeing everybody down in Mystic.
Real quick,
Yeah.
Greg, is a suggestion, you might want to send the information to the New Haven Middlesex board so they can market the class.
Yeah,
as
for
well.
sure, for sure. We're gonna, as soon as the registration links are up on the e-car, because I don't think we have them up yet, we'll have share it statewide. And I think you inspired staff after the Connecticut Association get together last Monday to try to see if we can get this approved for Connecticut CE classes, but we know it doesn't matter. It's the.
You should be able to.
Content. Yeah, we're gonna try. We're gonna try, and that'll be an icing on the cake if we can pull that off. But what do we have? What do we
Greg,
have coming?
I can help get the information that you guys need. That's what I provided to Yolanda. So let's touch base.
And hopefully we'll have.
Possible to, I'm sorry, Nora.
Good. I was actually going to mention you, Barbara, because we had such a great event in Newport, Rhode Island last year. So looking forward to recreating that. Go ahead, Barbara.
I was going to ask Greg, is there any chance of getting this approved for CE in Rhode Island?
You know, I'm not licensed in Rhode Island. I think we would have to have somebody on the Rhode Island side, you know, take that ball and run with it. We can definitely provide the content and the bullet points that we're going to present to DCP here. I think our rules are probably stricter than yours, Barbara.
Yeah.
But I
Yes.
don't know.
So
Barbara, I
Barbara,
can help you if you need help. I
and
can
let's
help you if
touch
you need
base
help.
with Ann, because she's been working on getting a bunch of these.
Right.
We should just look back with Ann and Regina in Enos and Rhode Island, and then Regina at National. Because
Yeah,
they
one
were
of
If you
working
could-
on a bunch of them. I just don't know where it was left.
So Greg, if you want to send me the information, Christine, I don't know, I can get it to, I don't know if you have Ann Enos's, if you even know who Christine is referring to as far as Ann is concerned, Ann Enos. She works for the Rhode Island Association of Realtors, and she would be instrumental in helping getting this approved, but I don't know if you have her contact information. Do you have mine to send me?
Let me loop back with Regina and Ann, because they had connected several months ago, but I don't know where it ended up, because we had talked about everything we were putting on the calendar. We were trying to get Rhode Island CE for.
And this is and so I'll wrap this up. We're right
Yep,
around
perfect.
12:29. This is one of the reasons why we really don't say CEs all the time, because we have 6 states in our region. Everyone has all different rules and regs. And I guess my testament is, in Massachusetts, it's very minimal CEU credits to maintain our licenses. And this is just, to me, worth every penny, even without CEUs, because to me, should be taking more and more classes that help us out like this. But by all means, if people want to take it on themselves, that's great. But unfortunately, we can't, I hate for us to open up a can of worms every time CEUs come up.
Hey, Nora.
But it's nice to have that
Oh,
option.
absolutely, absolutely.
So it doesn't cost us anything to do it. Yeah.
Nora,
Right.
before you wrap up, we've got some really good stuff though between now and then. Between now and September.
Yes, so just as the president's newsletter went out yesterday, but pencil in June 28th. Is this what you're talking about? The
Yep.
Cape Cod, we're having a
Yep.
Cape Cod We are also having October 11th. That's a Wednesday, I believe. To Gary Rogers and Rachel Foy are working on a Portsmouth, New Hampshire, all-day event, which will be terrific. They call it a bar camp. And help me out, Greg. And then September 7th or 8th, Addie Owens is we're putting together an event in Maine. That'll be terrific for a half a day class / networking event. So that's coming also in September, but that is in Maine. Anything else?
Yeah, I think Yolanda in New Haven Board of Connecticut, you guys have the luxury.
The luxury class with the cotton.
Yeah,
what's his-
Cotton.
Yeah,
Do
cotton,
we have
yes.
do we have a date on that?
I'm working with on getting the room, probably early October, the first
Sounds
week
terrific.
first. Karen Stevens is going to work with me and trying to recruit Joel.
That's
And
great.
then Barbara, maybe she could bring people from Rhode Island.
It is approved for CE in Rhode Island already, that one class. So
Yes.
that's actually
Great.
helpful.
And for us,
And-
it's approved for 6 credit hours, which is good because we need to finish our classes, our education by February 24.
Okay, that's
So-
terrific. And that's another part of Connecticut because we're
Yep.
not only working with states, but regions within the states. So, we're
Wow.
there. And our Central Massachusetts was a great success. Kurt, it was nice to see you there. Really appreciated that. So that was a
Kurt,
wonderful.
you had an update. Go ahead.
Sorry, just last thing, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, I dropped in www.nar.realtor.com/riding. Connecticut was amazing. It was the first riding with the brand event up here in New England, but you have 5 more states that are going to be holding events. So please try to get out there and network with our fellow CRSs from around the New England area as well. That's all I had. Thank you.
That's great. Thanks a lot, Kurt. And Kim, thank you very much for being here, and get those listings and put them on the market.
Look forward to seeing you guys.
See you in a couple months.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.